Welcome back to Author Spotlight for the book The Warrior Women Project. My name is Dr. Lulu, aka the Malnutrition. I'm the brain behind the book, but I'm definitely not the only one involved in the book. Today we have another beautiful Black princess with us. Her name is Dr. RB. She's one of the co-authors. Dr. RB joins us from Charlotte, North Carolina. Hi, RB. What's up?
Hi, Dr. Lulu. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, Dr. RB, and I've already kind of put the cat out of the bag. So, you are a doctor, but why did you choose to write a book about immigrant women? What's the deal with that?
Immigrant women, in my experience, it poses a peculiar challenge. For those of us who immigrated to the United States in adulthood, the challenge of leaving your family behind, having a brand new family away from home, the lack of social support with raising kids far from loved ones, and trying to juggle if you have a career, husband, kids, it's a lot. It's a lot. So I felt like sharing my experience might help a lot of people out there. Things, 2020 vision, hindsight is always 2020 vision. So things I could have done differently that might help someone else in their journey.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned, I think a few of the co-authors did emigrate to wherever they emigrated in childhood, but you mentioned specifically in adulthood. So, and I know you probably don't have any experience as a child emigrating, but what do you think are the unique challenges that you specifically experienced? Is it the things that you listed for us, or were those for everybody? But which of those were your own unique challenges as an immigrant, as an adult immigrant woman? Because the woman part is also important.
Yes, it is. So I came here after I got married. So for me, I had to change my name. I had to change where I lived. I left loved ones behind. I was, an adult, you're pretty set in your ways, your day-to-day activities, day-to-day life kind of goes into auto mode. I had to change all that. Then moved here, had to go to, we came to Charlotte. I knew no one, Then I had a husband who was working. So it was just me at home, no family. That's tough. And then we didn't have, then we didn't have FaceTime, social media. It was just a phone call or calling card. You didn't see faces until you went back to Africa. So it was a challenge.
Well, at least you had a husband, regardless. Some of us came and we didn't have anybody. I mean, of course, I'm just saying as far as that goes. But so did you quickly make friends? I mean, how did you cope? That's a tough one. Did you cry every night, or I mean every day, or how did you manage? Walk us through.
So we're lucky in the sense that he was working for a fellow Nigerian physician. So he had his, friends, and, we quickly got, entwined in the Nigerian community. We made a few good friends ourselves, so that was how we got, kind of into the Charlotte and American community. So that was very helpful. But I would just imagine for someone who didn't have that social support, imagine if he was just working in a big firm like Bank of America that was multinational and, didn't have that community. I wonder, it could have been tougher.
It could have been tougher. And especially since some people really truly get that kind of job and they come here as the lifesaver for their family. Go to abroad and save the family, and then you're by yourself. Because I didn't even know this, but apparently there's a high rate of suicides amongst immigrants. I mean, I know it now, but I didn't know it then. And one of the things is loneliness can drive you to depression, and the rest is history. So did you ever get depressed, or did you ever feel depressed? Or I know you were lonely, but did you ever get depressed?
No, I mean, depression, like they say, Nigerians, we have a tough economy, but we're the happiest people on the planet, and the suicide rate actually lowest in Nigeria than any other country. So I mean, I felt lonely, but I kind of felt fortunate because I have a career that I could do something with here. I'm sure it's probably harder for women who emigrate to the United States and have to change their career so they can fit in. I was just going to take my exams and get into the same thing that I was doing back home. So that was a little easier. Then of course I was married, so I had that social support. And being young, I mean, then before the kids came, there are things we could do to keep ourselves, when he wasn't working. So that was good.
That was good. And the funny thing about it, and this is just going back again, because I was like you, I came here as an adult. Most people that are not here, most people that are in Nigeria, they think are living the life of lives, right? They just look at you're just here having fun. You're in America, everything is fine. The roads are paved with gold and all the other things that we tell ourselves as back home. So how did your family, did they react that way? Your friends that you had in Nigeria, were they like, oh my God, OBY has gone to the other side and she's living it? How did your friends react to you?
Yeah, so, my family I have almost half of my family here. My mom, sister, and brother have been here since the 70s. A lot of my classmates in med school came here to do their external rotation. So America wasn't such a big deal for us, but, they kind of felt, it was when I reached out to them by phone call, they're like, have you made friends? How are you coping? We miss you. Things we did every day.
Yeah.
I couldn't do anymore.
Yeah. It was tough for me. It was tough for me. I'm very outgoing and the very first, I don't know, few months trying to even just settle into residency. And then, we'll come back to you with regards to your residency. But for me, it was like settling into residency, getting to know the people, their language, their food, their transportation. Just all of those things, you have to try to learn them very, very quickly. So, but with regards to you and residency, since you're a physician, at what point did you start and how did that all happen?
So residency, when I came here, luckily I had support. I was home, so I prepared for my exams. I did well, got into residency. But that was one of the challenges I met as an immigrant. We lived in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I soon found out that most of the big universities here do not offer residency positions to, foreign medical graduates. No matter how good, your application was. And we got interviews in Virginia, Georgia, New York, New Jersey, but I ended up taking a pre-match in New Jersey. And if I wasn't an immigrant, I may have been closer to home. So that was one roadblock. Then by the time I matched into residency, I had a 19-month-old and just had a baby. So at start of residency, I had a 4-month-old and a 20-something-month-old babies that was going to take with me to residency, 600 miles plus from home. So that was another challenge.
Please tell me you had a nanny or something.
I did. There was no way as an intern, internal medicine intern, there was no way I was going to do it. But the nanny also had her time off, so I worked every other weekend. She had every other weekend off. So when I wasn't working, I was busy with the kids.
That is actually one of the, and I love the way you phrased it. When I wasn't working, I was busy with the kids. The truth is, that is a whole nother day's job on its own. We say that even as women, even as mothers, we say that because that's what the society makes us believe, staying at home is not work, or going to the house is the only time that is work. But isn't that amazing that, even we that are the victims, we still internalize narrative and say, yeah, when we're not working, we're at home. Honey, are you kidding me? I think one of the best videos I've seen is the one guy when we first went on lockdown, who I think he did a live video that went viral. He was thanking the teachers because he realized how bad his kids were and he had to be at home with his kids 24/7. And he was saying, I want to say thank you to all the teachers. I didn't realize how bad my kids were. A lot of men
Yeah.
take it for granted, and then maybe women too, but take it for granted that, oh, just because you're at home with the kids, you're not working. So tell me about how hard was that? Because I know what residency is like. That's crazy. So basically, you were not
Crazy.
for what, 3 years or what?
Yeah, for 3 years. And now that you say it, I remember, I think towards the end of my intern year, I had a 2-week vacation. I think you had 2 weeks or 3 weeks
Yeah,
every year.
yeah, 2 whole weeks. Like,
And you were pretty much recovering from the onslaught of residency. But I brought the kids back home to Charlotte, North Carolina for 2 weeks. And after I got back to New Jersey, I think maybe I was on a light rotation that week. I actually felt like I just started my vacation because my 2 weeks with the kids was more work than working in the hospital. I'm like,
but that's what people say, when you go on vacation, that never fails. When you go on vacation, you come back, you need a vacation from your
yeah,
vacation. One of my friends,
yeah.
yeah, she went to Florida for something with her family. And now she's like, oh, I need a girls' weekend. I said, what? You can just go on vacation. She said, no, honey, vacation with my family and my kids is not vacation. And that's a true statement.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, especially with young kids who were all less than 3 years old at the time. So that was, yeah.
Wow. So what did you end up doing in resident? What specialty did you do, and how is life today with medicine?
So
Being an
those
immigrant?
were hard years, hard years, but I still made out time. I mean, within a few months of starting residency in med school, I thought I'll be a cardiologist because, my mentors were cardiologists. But within a few months, I kind of gravitated towards oncology. I liked going there, taking care of the patients. It kind of felt it felt very close to home, and it felt organic. I just flowed. So then I also like critical care, just, fixing, turning down the vent, fixing this and that, and really watching people do well. And well,
No, watching people die. No, I hated critical care. Hated critical care. That's not
yeah, but those are that. So critical care and oncology were my two best. I really did enjoy critical care.
wow. Congratulations. So are you an oncologist or are you a critical care physician? What are you now today?
So I'm a medical oncologist, and I see mostly head and neck and thoracic oncology patients. So everything from the skull base to the diaphragm without the breast.
Oh my God, I have a renewed respect for you. That is straight up gangster. I could not. I can't even look into the eyes of someone who has Burkitt's lymphoma or Hodgkin's. I'm just thinking out loud. Meningiomas and glioblastomas. What? No.
Yeah.
Are those who you see? Are those the people that you see?
So the head and neck cancers are mostly the throat cancers, oropharyngeal, thyroid, then lung cancer. And it's usually people who smoke, environmental, carcinogens. But a fair amount of my patients have never smoked a cigarette. So it's kind of interesting.
I know, I've talked about that before without making it a medical interview, but I'm sure there's somebody who's watching who'd be interested in that. What is the deal with that? How some people have never smoked a day in their lives and then they get lung cancer? I mean, what is that, some kind of juju gangster stuff or what? What's up with that?
But we're finding out that in a lot of those patients, there's actually a mutation that kind of gets picked off, a tumor suppressor gene or an oncogene that gets, stimulated and just causes of oncogenesis, cancer-driven. And a lot of those cases, they're actually targetable mutations that we can treat with pills.
Oh.
Precision oncology. Yeah, it's really fun.
Wow, look at that. That is amazing. But you see, now this actually brings it full circle. As immigrants, this is something that I don't know. Do we have that kind of service in Nigeria? Because both of us happen to be Nigerian and both of us happen to be Black female physicians. Do we have, do people even talk about that kind of targets? What did you call it? Oncology something in Nigeria yet?
Driver mutations. Yeah, so the knowledge is widespread. In Nigeria, smoking is not, a lot of people do not smoke. So I suspect a lot of the lung cancer cases they see much more so than in the United States are, driven by this tumor mutagenesis. But I don't know about how much research, is being done there. But I know that the drug companies have made the drugs available. So patients in Nigeria actually have access to some of these targeted therapies. So that's good to know.
That's fantastic to know. That is so good. I know you're a speaker. I see that in your future, this kind of speaking about something, because this is amazing. For me, I'm all about empowering women. So, I mean, I just feel like it just sounds so sexy just to hear a woman talking about this kind of highfalutin stuff. I think you should look into that. This is so intriguing to say the least, that you know this kind of information. People want to hear stuff like that, don't you think?
Yeah, sure. And I'm really looking forward to speaking and getting word out there, because a lot of women, from age 50 to 60 who are never smokers just come down with lung cancer. And a lot of them have symptoms, but nobody ever knows to screen for lung cancer because everyone thinks she doesn't smoke. By the time we find out it's stage 4, so, and it's sad. So that's definitely an area of unmet need. As a country, I don't know that we have any resources or any kind of plan towards how to, screen these people and, no set out. Right now we have the USPSTF has set guidelines for smokers, from ages 50 to 80, smoked more than 15 years. So how about the people who've never smoked to come down with lung cancer? So that's area of unmet need, in addition to, the underserved minority. We Blacks, African Americans were always, poorest outcomes, don't get diagnosed till late, do not
Don't
really
go to the
follow up with
doctor.
therapy.
Don't trust the
Yeah,
doctor. It's a whole tapestry.
yeah,
Terrible.
it is. It is. So, I'm going to try to weave my own wool through the tapestry and make a difference as much as I can. That's what I plan to do.
Yes, your own black wool. That would be so cool. Or maybe bright yellow. It doesn't matter. But it's funny how you're saying this, because one of the things that people say, or they say, is if you're looking for a book and you can't find the book, you write the book. So this is an
That's true.
example for you for this kind of topic that we're talking about right now. I think it is the sexiest thing in the world. I think corporate America will eat you up if you pitched to them that you're going to come and teach them about, even if it's just symptoms in their C-suite, because those are the people that are older. Well, it may early detection or whatever. I don't care. But just the fact that you're going to be a black woman in the business suits, bringing your table to the boardroom, bringing your chair to I mean, that would be so amazing. I think you should totally look into it.
Yeah. And we're looking into it at Novant Health where I work. We're definitely looking into, the patients who don't fit the usual screening criteria, men, women who don't smoke, who come down with lung cancer, look at how we can help improve their outcomes as well, just like we're improving outcomes in other patients.
Yeah, because I'm over 50. I mean, I'm concerned about this. I never smoked a day in my life, but it doesn't matter. That's what you're saying
Yeah.
to me right now. So I will definitely be at that conference to see what I can learn. Wow, that's amazing. Thank you for the work that you do. That is just beyond phenomenal. I hope you do go on to do research and write papers and even write a book about it, and just maybe describe a couple of cases. And you never know who is in the audience. You just never know who is going to be listening.
Yeah, I hope to do so. I hope to make a difference, one
Yeah.
patient at a time.
Yeah, but you know what they say about that now? If you can believe it, you can become it. So the only person that's going to be in the way
Is me.
All right, Dr. Obi, thank you so much for coming and sharing that uncommon wisdom with me. I know I'm definitely I'm educated right now. So to before we let you go, what will you say to the little girl, the one who traveled to America to get married and find her future? What would you say to her today?
I would say welcome, Obi, and keep an open mind because you're about to experience enormous growth as a person. And actually, looking back 15 years ago when I came here, or 15 plus years, I think I'm 50%. I may not have changed full circle, but a big part of my way of thinking, the way I do things has really changed. And I'm grateful for that opportunity.
That's so good to listen. I really want you to talk to the girl before she came. I want you to talk to Obi before she came. What would you say to her? Because you're talking to Obi, who is at the airport. You said, welcome. The one that was in Nigeria.
I would say get all the experience in med school, meet people, because it's going, whatever you're learning is going to be the foundation with which you get through life. The values that, you're imbibing, the values you express, will definitely see you through. And that's what happened.
So proud of you, man. That's just amazing, amazing, amazing. And then, just as human beings, the fact that we never know what we can do until we pull it off. It's like, wait, did I just do that? I did. I did. You know how this? She did that. Congratulations on raising 3 wonderful children and being, as I'm concerned, a pioneer in the oncology space. Because I hope you don't let that dream. Maybe it's a dream. Maybe it's my dream. I don't know for you, but I hope you don't let it die. I think a lot of times once we start overthinking it, then we think ourselves out of it. But I think Black woman STEM, that's an amazing combination. And then oncology, there are all kinds of grants out there, and then they are looking for equality and diversity, so they will pick you up in a second, and hopefully
that's true. That's true, and that's an area I'm definitely going to mine, in the next few months to years.
Yeah. And a friend of mine said something that's so powerful. She said, success is never sudden. And I was like, she said, yes, everybody you see, every time you hear about this artist that suddenly just burst out in the scene, they've been working on it for years. So I guess
true.
It's for you, even if you're going to do it, I think there's no point waiting till, because the thing is going to be years down the road. So starting now is the answer.
Now.
Yeah.
The building blocks, start layering them now.
Fantastic. Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, so where can the viewers find you? Where are you? Are you on social media? Are you not on social media? How can the people find you?
So I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn for the professionals, and I'm also on Twitter.
Do you want to drop your handles for us, ma'am?
It's at OBY. Yeah, OBY. And, I'm a medical oncologist, Van Health Cancer Institute in Charlotte. So
you're the same across the board, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, everything is OBY, yes?
Yes.
Okay, good. So we'll definitely type the spelling, the indigenous spelling down so that they get it, so that we know that it's you and they can go and follow you, because what you're doing is amazing. I like it. I really do like it. And I hope you do follow, because all the noise that we're making, when you get sick, you will appreciate your doctor. So I say go for it.
That's true. That's true.
Yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard her. She came here and just blew it out the ballpark as far as I'm concerned. Dr. Obi is an oncologist. She's a mother. She's a pace setter. She's a warrior woman extraordinaire, and she's writing the book. So the book is called The Warrior Women Project. should be ready in the next several weeks. I mean, like really, our website is almost done. We worked on it today for hours. So, you know, it's almost here. So tell someone to tell someone to tell someone to grab the book. It's going to be worth the wait, I promise you. That's all, B. All right. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this afternoon. I appreciate it. Y'all, so long, farewell. That's all. You want to say goodbye to the people?
Bye. See you
Bye.
around soon. Thank you, Dr. Lulu.
You're very welcome. I had a good time. It was so good. Bye, everybody.
Bye.